retirement planning. I mean, sometimes it feels like everyone's talking about it, but no one's really saying anything, you know?
Right. It's just this big mystery.
Like, how do you actually make sure that you have enough and that you can enjoy those years without, well, stressing about money constantly?
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be the golden years, not the worry years.
Okay, so today we're diving into something you're thinking about as part of your retirement plan, which is the Symetra Select Max Fixed Deferred Annuity. And don't worry, we'll unpack what all that means.
Yeah, we've got your notes, some materials from Diversified Insurance Brokers who are actually the ones recommending this.
Right, so we're going to really try to make this clear, see if this type of annuity is the right fit for you.
Exactly. Because not every piece of the retirement puzzle is right for everyone. It's about finding what works for you.
Okay, so first things first, modified single premium fixed deferred annuity. That's a lot of words.
It is, isn't it?
So in plain English, what are we even talking about here?
Basically, think of it like this. You're putting down a lump sum of money to start, at least $10,000. But, and this is key, you have that first year to add more if you want.
Oh.
So you can make additional payments in chunks of $1,000 or more, so you're not completely locked in on day one.
I see. So there's some flexibility there.
Exactly. Flexibility is important.
So that's the modified single premium part, I guess. But what about this fixed deferred part? That's where these guaranteed interest rates come in, right?
You got it. So you're choosing a time frame, 3, 5, or 7 years. And for that whole period, your interest rate is locked in.
Okay.
Market goes up, market goes down, doesn't matter. You're getting that steady, guaranteed growth.
Right. So if someone's really worried about like the market crashing or being volatile, especially as they get closer to retirement,
Especially.
that could be pretty appealing. But what happens after that initial period? Does that guaranteed rate just disappear?
It doesn't disappear. It resets each year based on what the current rates are. But here's the thing. It never goes below the guaranteed minimum that's stated right there in your contract.
Okay, so it's like a safety net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're protected, your principal is protected, and, that income is going to keep flowing, which is huge when you're relying on this money to, actually live on in retirement.
Right, because a lot of people are worried about outliving their savings.
That's a big one.
So what about before retirement? What if you need to access the money before then? Is it totally locked away?
You actually have some options. You can withdraw any interest that's accumulated each year without any penalty. So you're basically tapping into those earnings without actually touching the core investment.
That makes sense. Now, this is something that I thought was interesting and I think could be really important. There are some waivers on those withdrawal charges in specific situations, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you need to access funds because of a terminal illness or because you have to go into a nursing home, for instance, they actually waive those extra charges. So it's really about having, safeguards in place when you need them most.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
But let's play devil's advocate for a minute. There are probably some downsides to this limited liquidity, right? Like, what if you have some emergency that doesn't fall under those specific waivers and you need to access a large sum of money?
Yeah, you bring up a good point. That's something you really need to think about. Because if you need more than those free withdrawals that we talked about, then you might be hit with some surrender charges. So it's really a trade-off. You get that security, you get that guaranteed growth, but it does come with some restrictions.
So you need to be aware of that going in and think about your whole financial picture.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's say we reach the end of that initial guaranteed period, that 3, 5, or 7 years. What happens then? Do you have to start all over from scratch?
No, not at all. You actually have options. You can renew for another term at the current interest rate that they're offering. Or you can convert the annuity into like a stream of income payments. So it's almost like setting up, a pension for yourself. Or you can just cash the whole thing out.
Interesting. So it's not just something you set and forget. You have to kind of stay engaged.
You do. You do.
What if you forget? Life gets busy, What happens then?
Well, if you don't make a choice, the contract's usually set up to just automatically renew, and they usually renew it for the same term that you originally chose. But here's the thing. At that point, when it's about to renew, it's really important to take a look at it because your needs might have changed. The market conditions might be different.
Exactly. This is where having a financial advisor could be really helpful to, help you make those decisions. Okay, so we can't forget about the death benefit, right? This is a big part of planning, making sure your loved ones are taken care of.
100%. And with the Symetra Select Max, your beneficiary, whoever you choose, is guaranteed to receive at least the guaranteed minimum value, even without surrender charges.
So you worked hard to build this up, and you want to make sure that it benefits them too. And there's something specific for spouses, right?
Yes. Your spouse, if they're the beneficiary, can actually choose to just continue that contract, under their name. So they keep that same guaranteed growth, that same tax-deferred status, just keep that financial security going.
That's huge. That kind of continuity can be so important for a surviving spouse. Okay, so we've talked about all the features, but what about, the companies involved? Does that even matter?
It always matters. Yeah, Symetra Life Insurance Company, they've been around a long time, and they have a good reputation for, strong financial management. You want to feel confident that the company that's backing this thing is, stable and reliable.
For sure.
And like we said, Diversified Insurance Brokers, they're the ones recommending this product, and they're known for working with, the top-rated companies.
Okay, so we've really dug deep into this Symetra Select Max Annuity. You've got a better understanding of what it is, how it works, some of the potential benefits, some of the things to watch out for.
Exactly. But remember, this is just one piece of the retirement puzzle. There are other types of annuities out there. There are tons of other investment options and strategies.
Right. And the point is to find what aligns with you.
Yeah, what aligns with your needs, how much risk you're comfortable with, and what you really want your future to look like.
I think that's the perfect takeaway. So as you're thinking about everything we've discussed, what really stood out to you? What questions do you still have?
Yeah, write them down.
Don't be afraid to reach out to a financial professional to get those answers. Because, well, this is your future. It's worth investing the time to make informed decisions.
Absolutely.
And that's it for this deep dive. We'll see